everybody. All right. I don't know if anyone's going to show up for this, but I'm super excited because today I got a Surface Studio finally delivered to my house. Actually got a really good deal on one at on eBay, as I was in my car trying to figure out how I was going to bid in the middle of traffic. And it worked out, so that's solid. So I was just gonna do a little video here for anybody who's into this kind of stuff. There's probably not a lot of people who are gonna be that super into this, and it's not a video that's gonna stay up on our channel. And honestly, it's just gonna be something to chat with some people while I set up Surface Studio for a while here. If I'm hard to hear, just let me know. I can try to amplify up my gain a little bit if anybody does jump in. If not, it'll just be me talking to myself, which is fine because that's how nerded out I am. So, Surface Dial, which I'm excited to mess with. Again, this was purchased from somebody who had it previously, but everything looks like so far is in pretty good shape. So, we got a Surface Dial. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, so I just got a Surface Studio. It's on the floor. I'm going to be setting it up and bullshitting about it and talking to people while you guys are here. I'm a huge nerd, and I've wanted one of these for a really long time. So I'm going to set it up and hope it works. And if it doesn't, you guys will see like the greatest bit of disappointment ever. They also threw one of these in with the deal. So that's cool. It's the ergonomic keyboard instead of the regular one. So I'll set that up and the dial after we get the Surface unboxed. Have either of you guys, Blair or Matt, have you guys ever used one of these before? They are pretty sick. I actually used to work for Microsoft, and in the process of working for Microsoft, I got to demo this out and teach people how to use it. Where in Florida? I am actually located in near Estero, Fort Myers area. So I'm pretty excited about this because right now I'm using my gaming rig to do a lot of the video processing. It's taking up a ton of space on there. I have to get another SSD. So this is going to be, we're going to take everything basically over, throw it into the Surface, and then do all the editing, video editing, and stuff like that. Oh, you're in Boca? Oh, sweet, man. Yeah, I mean, what, you're probably Fort Lauderdale, what, 2 hours away? Straight, like what? East, or, yeah, east of me, yeah. I've been in Florida for about 2 years. Sorry, I'm off camera here. This box is huge. I'm waiting for my wife to walk in. She's never accidentally gotten on cam, and she'd probably freak out and make me delete it. Depends on your living habits. Nice. All right, so the box is opening here. This isn't exciting, but honestly, throwing this box up there is not going to be very exciting. All right. Moment of truth. Is it broken? Still not open. Well, screen looks good. No issues there. The guy who sold it to me has the full box and everything, which is awesome. Yeah, depending on your driving habits, yep. Probably get there a lot faster. This sucker's packed in. All right. So, again, this is a pre-owned one. I was able to get like a crazy good deal on it. Because if I would have spent any more, my wife probably already wants to kill me, so she would have definitely wanted to kill me. So, if you guys haven't seen it, this is a pretty sweet device. It's if you ask most people, a room. What's up, Jack? If you ask most people, it's probably a little bit overpriced. And I'm not going to lie, I can totally... Yeah, first gen. This is actually the same style of one that I used when I used to teach people on it. But if you haven't seen it, you know, it's overpriced a little bit. I'll be completely honest with you. If you build your own computer, you probably get a little more power out of it. But as a former artist, I used to draw a lot, and I never had a digital drawing experience like I did on this device. So I'm really into it. I'm really excited. Like I said, putting everything, you guys can see it there a little bit. If you've never seen a Surface Studio, it bends all the way down. You can actually even lean on it. It's made to support your weight. So if you're drawing, you can get right in on it. So that's kind of a quick look at it. Never seen it. All the HDMI ports are on the back. I'm sorry, not HDMI, the USB. If your USB, a network cable, power. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple device. So leave it like that. I gotta get the power cord and everything out. Trust me, I would have loved to get, what am I planning on using it for? Jack, this is going to be where all of the PantheonPlus video editing, graphic design, website design is going to translate all over to this. All that matters is you're into it and can't wait. Yeah, no, I hear you. I freaking love this thing. Replaced all his other... Yeah, exactly. So, Chris, that's exactly the point there. This is going to not only replace it for a lot of the artwork that I do, but honestly, this is probably going to consume my life for getting back into drawing again. And also, I know it sounds stupid, but I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I really want to get her drawing on it and coloring and stuff. So there's a little bit of the dad mode that's also really excited about this. It's also what I told my wife to try to make the blow lessened, but it is true. I didn't just say that. So this is the Surface Pen for it. The one thing I'll probably have to do is go get new pen tips. I'm sure I don't have all the pen tips with this since this was a used model. Does it have specific tools? So it's just sort of a little bit of a powerhouse, Jack. The screen and being able to draw directly on the screen and being able to get right in, it's really important. The other thing too, if you've never seen one of these, we kind of revealed this. This is called the Surface Dial. So this is a product, it seems strange, but it's basically a click-in product. And you can, on the Surface Studio, you can use this and put it on the screen like this. So you can actually use it while you're drawing to command different things. Like you can zoom in and out. You can actually change your color spectrum or your brush size without having to get up. So since I'm right-handed, you know, I can take my right hand, I can use this dial, and I can change my stroke size or my transparency while I'm actually working. It's honestly like if for someone who used to draw a lot in like notebooks and stuff, when I draw, I get really close to things. And I've never been able to experience that digitally because you usually have a pad on the side or, you know, a touchscreen like a Surface or something like that. So with this, it's really just, you just get right into it. It's running an i7. You know, I forget which gen this one is. It's the first gen, so it's probably... Here, I can actually figure that out. Maybe. It is a... Yeah, it just says i7. It's a quad-core i7. I think it's 4,000 or 5,000 series. So you say you're not an artist, you can't draw. Does it have any tools that you'd be able to use? Or is it art? It's very creator, Jack. The Surface Studio is definitely made for music production, art production, stuff like that. Outside of that, honestly, it's not something that I would ever recommend people buy if they're not into that. Because for the price of this, you could build a gaming rig that's super sick. So, but in this box, you have your pen, as I showed you before. So we got this keyboard is an extra they sent with it. So they actually have the ergonomic keyboard. I'm going to try to use this. It's been a long time since I've used an ergonomic, but I know that's really good for you. But with it, they have just the basic wireless Surface Studio keyboard. And they have a real simplistic mouse. If I can get this thing out. Here it is. So just a real simplistic mouse. Honest opinion, I don't know how long I'll use this. I'll probably replace this. I have a Logitech gaming mouse that I don't use right now that I might throw on there just to have on there. But I've definitely used one of the two keyboards for sure. A lot of times with the different things I'm going to do. So another thing, for example, oh, nice. Orb Weaver. Yeah. Here. Since we're showing stuff off and I'm already being a nerd, Jack, very similar, right? This is the Tataris. I was looking at the Orb Weaver. I didn't end up going with that one, but I went with the Tataris. So I'm the same as you. In my left hand, I use this, and then I have a Corsair MMO mouse for my right hand. I get real lost on a keyboard. As long as I've been gaming, I constantly get lost on a keyboard when I'm trying to move my left hand off of the WASD. But, okay. So anyway, sorry, I'm going to get sidetracked 1,000 times. I'm super nerdy about this, super excited. Let me get the power cord out and see about booting this thing up. Yeah, there you go. I think it's a lot newer than that one. Yours, I think, has more buttons. Am I right? Okay, okay. All right, so let's get the power cord out of here. something nobody will ever use, but he did have all the original little books for it. Okay, that's interesting. It's kind of funny because we always talk about how there's no instructions in gaming manuals, yet there's instruction for a desktop PC that I can't imagine anybody's ever going to use. I'm going to laugh so hard if this doesn't work. It's like plug it in, nothing. Or I plug it in and it's got a user already put in it and I can't get through it. That would be great too. Wow, this thing still has the little... Took care of it. That makes me feel a lot better about this whole deal. I got it for about half price on eBay. That's why I was really excited. So I don't know if I would have went much more than I did, but when it said you have won the bid, I sort of lost my mind. Funny story, so I haven't used eBay in a really long time, like a really long time. And so I'm super excited. I'm sitting in my car bidding on it. It says you win. I'm like literally my heart's beating because I can't believe I won it. It's probably partially because I won, but then partially because I have to tell my wife I just spent all this money. So what happened is I immediately paid him, so it initiated the sale. And I had an old address in there for somewhere else I had lived in Florida. So I'm in a pure panic trying to reach the guy and be like, no, don't send it there. Give me 1 second. I got to get under here, plug this sucker in. I'm going to go into a surge protector for sure on this one. My wire management is not phenomenal. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The newer keypads you said have better button swaps and macro. Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Does it turn on or did I buy a dud? It works so far. What do you guys think? Should I start with the ergonomic and just see if I can do it? It's been really long. We'll go with it. We'll try it. I'm not looking forward to taking all the recordings we've done, all the raw files, all the, finished videos, the clips. I'm going to take it all off my gaming rig so my gaming rig can just be for gaming. That makes me pretty happy, actually. So far, so good here. I'm going to love if this goes right to the first install screen. You know what's funny? I get, like, when combat gets really crazy in an MMO, even though I know I have a rotation if I'm DPSing, I start just, like, super mashing buttons. Like if I'm supposed to hit one next in the rotation, I'll be hitting it, like, 7,000 times until I see it go off. I'm really, really bad with that. Looks like it is going to go into a fresh boot here. Fingers crossed. The sucker's a lot bigger than I remembered next to my side monitor here. I used to game. I was really big into console gaming, so even in PC games, I would use a controller a lot. I was really into add-ons in WoW, so we actually I dug into a bunch of add-ons and put a bunch together. And for a little while, I made it so I could play WoW with an Elite Xbox controller. It was a little tedious for looting and such, but Hiya used to harass me so bad that I wanted to use a controller for MMOs. And then I played Final Fantasy 14 for a while, and that's actually built to work on a controller pretty well. So rotations are one of the big worries. In what way, Jack? Do you want rotations, or do you just want it to kind of be situational pressing? I do feel like though that no matter what they do, there's gonna be some rotations that come out. Oh man, we still have a loading screen. Not nervous. I'm not nervous. Oh wow, dude, Blair, you were healing without like Healbot or Voodoo. That's crazy. I honestly probably could not. I don't think I could heal without them. All right, we got black screen after the initial loading screen. I'm hoping we see the welcome to Windows type of thing here. Hard to no rotations or key players. Yeah. The only problem with rotations is someone figures it out right. Once you math it, it's kind of this is the best and that's all that works. Even if it's only like a couple percent off of a rotation, people are so anal about being the top that they'll actually do that. All right, guys. We had a Windows loading screen. Now I have a black screen. This might be one of those streams where you see someone buy a really expensive product and it doesn't work. That would be hilarious. For you guys, not for me. You'll see me cry on live stream. We'll never make this available after this. So make sure you do your clip recording. It'd still be loading. If you did a fresh install, I'd imagine it's still gonna go up. On the side, you have a power button and a volume kicker. It has a 3D infrared camera, which I'm interested to see how that will look for one of those videos where you nerd rage and toss it out the window. Even if it's not working, I don't know if I could nerd rage and toss it out the window. I'd still be scared. All right, we got black screens, so far we are approaching a nerd rage video. You guys will be live. These have a power button with them. It's still nothing. The good news is I have a freshly made installer. We have a worst case scenario. You guys will get to see me have to try to figure out how to work. Alright, Blair. Have a good day, man. Let's really hope there's no rage moment. We do have... Aha! Alright, this is better. This is better. I couldn't imagine like those rage videos that happen like... I don't know, I always feel like they're staged. I couldn't imagine one happening like this where we're just like unexpected. I think I gotta go to Best Buy though. I'm gonna have to get one of the SSD, like USB SSDs, like the external ones, because otherwise using a regular USB to get everything over is gonna be a nightmare. Just a moment. I'm wondering if I should be on the other computer looking for like a Surface Studio driver set. We shall see. Right. Just a moment. This is way more than a moment. Anticipation is killing me here. Killing me. Now we have the Surface screen again. Fingers crossed for first time setup. I don't remember it taking this long though, so that scares me. Alright, new screen. We've seen the gray Windows screen, we've seen the blue screen, and now we're seeing a black Windows screen, so we must be heading in the right direction here. You know what, Blair? That's an awesome question. I don't know what's going to happen with guilds. I really don't, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. My guess is that me and Haya are probably... Yeah, it must be fresh. It must have... which is good. That means the guy who had it made it completely clean. Now, the question here is going to be is, do either of these mice work? Or do they need batteries? No batteries here. Let's see if we just can touchscreen it. I don't know why. I always feel like Eastern time is the hardest to find. So they want to update it. I'm gonna have to touch screen it. As we get to see, wind back the video. I should sit in front of this so you guys can't steal my passwords. I don't even remember my network. That'd be great. Just start giving out all kinds of personal information on a stream. Yeah, they had a good eBay score. Apparently, I didn't do that right. They had a good eBay score. It gave me a little more of a chance that I was willing to take on it. There's some insurances and stuff. Like if I had to get crazy with it, I probably could have. But they did have a good eBay score though. This is the first. So he, I don't know if you heard Jack, but whenever making food didn't hear it, they did. Yeah. So one of the things that was interesting, Jack, if you didn't hear, and I was telling the guys that were here watching. So when I won this, I was literally sitting. So I had an alarm ready to go off when this bid was going to be done because at the moment it was like really low, and I was like, man, if I can get it for anywhere near this price, it's pretty good. So what happened was I'd set the alarm and I was leaving to go home, but I was at work. So I knew for a fact that I would. The Cortana setup is talking. I knew that I would be sitting in this large traffic area during it. So I was sitting there bidding in traffic while I was like, I can sit still because it's the time of day that it is. And after I won the bid, which I was shocked that I won, I had hit pay right away. So I paid immediately. Let me mute Cortana. So anyway, I win it, and I hadn't used eBay in like years, So I win and I pay for it, and I realized after I paid, submit the payment, and it submits all the shipping address that my shipping address in eBay was a prior address. So I was frantic, like I'm trying to contact the seller, like, oh my god, don't send it to that address, and I'm like putting a PayPal complaint in. Hey, I really want to pay this guy, but here's the issue I'm having, blah 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 blah. But thank God we were okay. So. All right, so let's see. Cortana wants to help us. Your keyboard is set to US. Yes. Do you also type with another keyboard layout? No. Does anybody set up two different keyboard layouts? So now it's just updating and setting up. But yeah, it was like my heart was racing, not only from winning, but for the fact that I was trying to figure out how I was going to go 2 hours north on a Monday to sit outside my old house and wait for the shipment to come. So luckily I got in touch with them and it wasn't an issue, but. So it's cool. He did do a full restart. It looks so far so good. Set up for personal. The keyboard not working is a little bit of a pain right now. Pretty sure it has batteries. It feels like it does. It does not. Okay, I'm gonna go get batteries because the keyboard needs to be working. So I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So then I go in and I'm like out of AAA batteries because that seems to be how that works. And I found this Amazon Basics bundle that must have come with something else that we didn't use. So thank God for that. Because if I would have had to run out to get batteries, it's like the worst noob move ever. That's what happens when you have a kid. A 3-year-old kid uses all your batteries. All of them. You have 2 wireless keyboards on that PC, TV. Alright. Hit this Bluetooth button. See if we can get connected or not. No, it's probably not going to work. So I'm probably going to have to do this all here until we get in. Oh. No. Okay. So we're going to be typing here. This is not the greatest thing in the world. I should probably just plug a keyboard. Stop being an. But we don't have to do. Alright, so password. Go. I do want to get some kind of remote or something to. I want to figure out a way to do wire, like, because I watch all my TV on my computer. I have a PlayStation View. So this is an interesting feature. If you guys can see the camera here. So this is using your face to sign in more securely. It's built into this. If you've probably seen it before if you have a Windows machine, but this has an infrared camera, so you can use facial recognition to get in and out of this machine. I'm not going to set it up right now, but it's a pretty cool deal. It worked pretty well on the Windows phones, which I used to own, but it works a lot better on this machine just because the camera is so much better. All right, so create pin. Yeah, so it's a good question, Blair. So we, all right, when we came to Pantheon, when we left WoW, we were running our own guild. So we had our own guild in there. We ran it for a few years. Prior to that, I'd run a few different guilds with other people, but our last guild was probably one of my favorite. And the problem is I really enjoy this content creation, and I really enjoy this all, like the PantheonPlus stuff, running the website, a lot of the community discussion, talking with people, and the different things that I do, trying to find content creators. We've even designed some logos and stuff for different content creators. So there is a big group that we want to bring over from WoW once Pantheon finally launches that weren't willing to obviously just not play anything right now like we were. I do want to. I want to find a home, but I don't think I'd be a great leader right now because I'm focused on so many other things, and I want to stream, and I want to get news out there still, and we want to build a good, strong website. So I don't know how strong of a leader I would be because when I was a leader in WoW, I put like every little ounce of my soul into it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So that's what stopped me from saying, yes, we're going to make our own guild. So we've looked a little bit at some of the communities that are already starting to build guilds. Who knows if we just end up in one of those, if we end up in another guild. I would love for all the content creators in PantheonPlus to play on the same server, but I mean, it's not something we're going to require. We don't tell anybody who contributes to PantheonPlus how to do anything. It's up to them. We're just here for help, and we're going to push their content out. And if it's something great that helps the game, sure. So I don't know. There's some things on the table. When we know, we'll probably announce it just in case anybody wants to join up. We did join into Nathan Napalm's EQ2 guild. that was pretty cool. I just didn't have enough time to play EQ2, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 right now. We're gonna be transferring servers to play in Battle Axe Theaters Guild. But these are just kind of all things I'm doing on the side just to keep myself actually being able to game. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah, and that's why I really want Pantheon to succeed. Is this is a there it is. So that's sent. So what that was is it's just basic Windows install. You guys have seen it. To link it to your phone. Yeah, it's tough, and I think in our guild videos, some people didn't like the fact that we kind of talked as like guild leaders instead of just straight guilds. Like, and I understand that. But yeah, man, the best moments in any MMO I played, with the exception of maybe EQ, because it was pretty early on in EQ. So, and I was young, I didn't know what was going on. Nobody did. So the exploration of the world was fun enough to where you didn't need a guild necessarily to do a ton of content because just exploring was fun. So EQ is probably the only game where I didn't have a massive guild. We had like a guild of real life friends where you had to get a GM together and you made a guild. And that was the extent of it. We didn't do a ton of guild content on EQ. But after that, every other game I played, I can tell you specifically the most I enjoyed it was with a good guild. You're going to get on one of the highest pop servers. Yeah, that's been a good discussion point too on Final Fantasy is what's better, a medium or a high pop server? I typically would agree with you though. High pop server, it's usually easier to find some items and stuff like that. So, all right. Do we want to have Cortana on here? We'll set that up later. 7 million privacy things. That's fine.
Two more things polished up for you, and Windows will be all yours. Looking forward to helping out.
She just said that she's going to polish up a few things and then Windows is all mine. So right now, Cortana is running my computer, I take it. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so we had a little scare with a multi-load there. But so far, so good. We just got to get the keyboard set up and we got to make sure the pen works. And you know what's scary about the pen? Is that has a special battery in it. It's a quadruple A. My guess is that was not removed. I can't imagine he would take a quadruple. He took the quadruple A battery. Sad face. So I have to figure out how the heck. You know what? I have a regular Surface. I probably can use my pen. So I'm gonna have to get that. Figure that out in a couple minutes. Actually, while this is loading, never mess. So again, as a Windows Phone owner, I was like right on the front line when Cortana came out. And I loved Cortana, like super loved Cortana. Obviously Windows Phone doesn't really exist anymore, so I have a Pixel. And with the Pixel, if you squeeze the bottom right here, it brings up your assistant automatically. It's like, I don't know if you can see that, but it comes up. I still have so yeah, if you just squeeze the bottom, you'll instantly get your assistant. So now I use it all the time. I honestly didn't use a voice assistant as much until I got my Google phone. Let me. You know what is also gonna suck? I think my Surface. I'm pretty sure my Surface is at work. So let's see here. I have an old Surface pen. This is from the original Surface. I have a battery in here. I have no idea if this is going to work. I gotta be honest, Blair, the setup Cortana is annoying. I don't like that. I like to just hit buttons. But there's certain things Cortana isn't horrible for, I guess. Don't know which way the battery goes in. think. Down. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our keyboard and everything set up here. As you guys can see, it's a pretty big screen. It's a like more than a 4K screen, which is also really nice on this. It's I don't want to say it's quite a 5K. It's like 4.5K. As weird as that sounds, but it's because of the dimensions of the screen being a little different. Also, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I am a huge fan of having my taskbar on the top. So I did that because of my personal settings already in Windows. So, okay, let's see if we can get this keyboard up and running. Jump into Bluetooth here. What stinks is I'm going to have to download things, and that's going to... My internet speed's horrible. No, you're weird. Taskbars go on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. I've always had it on the top. I don't know if it's because when... What's up, Punk? I don't know if it's because I like having... like, when I'm looking at the screen, I don't want the taskbar in the way. So, like, if I'm drawing and stuff or I'm doing anything, like, in Adobe, I kind of just want to be focused on it. So the taskbar up there feels like it's out of the way for me. But, yeah, I think 90% of people who... I'd say probably 99% of people keep it on the bottom. All right, so let's get into our Bluetooth devices here. And let's see if we can get this keyboard set up. We're going to go ergonomic. If I hate it, I'll switch to the base. So we're going Bluetooth. Ergonomic keyboard. So far, so good. Enter the pin on the keyboard. We're entering the pin on the keyboard. I don't understand this whole pin thing. Just connect. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm like super nerded out. Punk, you missed it. When we first booted it up, it didn't load right away. Like it crashed. So I'm like, oh no. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's try that again. I have to hold the button in. Enter the pin. And then press enter. See, if you read things, yeah, I got it for about half price. So pretty excited. It was used, so like we were looking through it, and the guy took like awesome care of it. Came in the original box. Took all the batteries out and shipping. We got the Surface dial. Just super cool. So Jack, honestly, it's probably gonna feel a little weird for me at first. When ergonomic keyboards first came out, so my grandfather was a computer engineer. So he was really big on always getting what was new. And he brought one of those home. And this was like the first time I'd ever seen it. And it was really difficult to use. But I will tell you that once you get used to it, it's pretty nice. It's not phenomenal for gaming. I don't like the distance of the buttons for gaming, but I told you I'm already bad on a keyboard for gaming. That's why I use like a Tataris and a 12-button mouse. So for like this purpose of designing or editing, I like it. It'll probably be fine, but it's going to take me a little bit to get used to it. All right, so let's see if this battery in the pen works. It's the only thing I'm worried about here. If it comes up on the list, we're in good shape. If it doesn't come up on the list, I may have also put the battery upside down, so we'll see. Oh man, it's gonna be so disappointing if I can't show off the pen. Let's try the battery the other way. You finger mash at high speeds with pointers. So I used to be a clicker, and I enjoyed the clicking life. I'm gonna be honest with you. And Haya harassed me and bullied me into hotkeying. So now I don't do that anymore. So here's fail number one for you guys. If you ever get stuff, remember to have batteries. Because there is no chance at all that I have a quadruple A battery in my house. None. And that means that my pen is not going to be able to be used. And the funny part is I'm actually going to have to go into work now to get a battery because we have them at work. And I don't even know if you can get a quadruple battery easily at like a regular store. So it's kind of disappointing. I didn't think that would work. That pen, this is like the original Surface pen, and it probably never changed the battery. So the odds of that battery working were pretty bad. All right. Anyway, so let's just get into, let's set up the dial. I'm going to need batteries for this. And for those of you that weren't here when we were talking about it, I ran out of AAA batteries too. And found this little 4-pack of Amazon basic batteries that I have no idea where they came from. But thank you, Amazon, for sending batteries for us. Yeah, quadruple A batteries are, I'm pretty sure I have them at work. All right, so let's see if we can get this paired up. This is a dial. This is the coolest thing. I'm going to see how long it'll take to install, I think it's called Sketchable, which uses this, and it's really cool in there. So let's go. Surface tiles ready to go. Done. Now we have to do the mouse, and I'm out of batteries. This is a bad open box. The use case for this? Yeah, sure. So my basic use for this is going to be pretty much all content. So all the content for PantheonPlus, and anything on the side that I do. I do some stuff from work for time to time. Like I just made a sizzle video. We're launching a product over in Europe, and it's already out over here. So I was like, well, I'll just make a sizzle video. So I did that on Adobe. So essentially, you know, all the Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, photo design, photo editing, recording. I don't know yet if I'm going to try to use this camera because it is a pretty good camera, but I haven't seen, so I want to see what the camera pickup looks like. So the main use case of this is design, drawing. I want to really get back into actually drawing again. It's going to take me a while. I want to draw. I want to do like all our logo design stuff and our editing in Photoshop on it. I want to take all our recordings, which I'm hoping to do all the recordings on this machine, and to be able to take all recordings, do all the editing, and basically take it completely separate from my gaming PC. My gaming PC, I'm going to clean it all up, which is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be like when you have to clean your bank out in an MMO if you're a pack rat like I am. So that's going to be rough. It looks like I am going to have to be making a trip because I need batteries. It's like Christmas morning. Have you guys ever had a Christmas morning where you open up all your gifts and there's no batteries? It's not fun. It's not fun. Okay, so for the time being, let me see if I can just get Sketchable, which I do have. And that's going to start downloading, I guess. At least show some of the cool things you can do with the dial. Yeah, no problem, Punk. Yeah, that's essentially. So I've really wanted one of these for a super long time. I used to train people on how to use this. So when this launched, I worked for Microsoft, and it was like a surprise product. What's up, Surfer Dave? What is up, my man? I'm nerding out here, Dave, with Surface Studio unboxing here because I just finally got one. But as I was saying, when I worked at Microsoft, we released this product, and I was like, my position at Microsoft, I was in the retail stores, but I was a manager, and my whole managerial focus was the associate experience. So like training, HR, development, making sure associates, like planning team events, stuff like that. So when this came out, a lot of the team was afraid to go use it or show it to customers, and it is very niche. Like if you're not a designer, it's not worth the money. I love it, and I will praise this thing to death, but you could spend half of this on a sick-ass gaming PC and be good to go. So, but yeah, so for me, like when I started drawing again on this, I hadn't drawn since college. So you're probably talking, geez, that was 16, 15. So I hadn't drawn since 2002. And I always hated the digital drawing, but drawing on the screen is incredible. So it's just one of those things that I've never been able to replicate the experience I had. So normally I would be using this pen, but I'm a noob, and I don't have batteries for it because it's quadruple A, and he didn't pack them. Let me check in the box one more time just in case he did pack them and I'm not seeing them. But I'm feeling like the odds are not too good here, so give me 1 second. This makes me feel really good about how good this guy took care of his stuff. Don't eat. Do not eat. That still being in this box makes me really happy. All right. So I'll show you just a couple quick things here. Hopefully it works. See? Yeah. Okay. So let me make sure this is well on camera. Now again, I don't have a pen, so it's not going to be as impactful here. So if you haven't really seen one of these in action, I'm going to go ahead and move my keyboard out of the way, put that on the side. And I'm not going to go down too far because I want you guys to be able to see it. Move it a little closer. Okay. So first and foremost, the size of the screen and what you're capable of doing. You know, it's really nice for being able to look at things, go real close in, and be able to do some editing. Just spin stuff. You know, now I'm drawing. So, like for example, this is gonna be horrible. So please judge me here. Drawing with touch is impossible. And this is a simple program. You can also use, you know, like Adobe Photoshop's gonna be a lot better. Gotta get ready for Fight Club. Nice player. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so if I were to be just, I have a red pen picked, so I can, you know, start drawing here. You know, it's really responsive. I've never filled a screen. I mean, and this is my finger. Look at the thickness and the sensitivity of the line just with my finger. And like even the darkness, which is really cool. So with this thing here, which is really cool. So, and this works in Premiere. So imagine you're editing or cutting a scene and you want to, you're just scrimming, just real, like, you know, scrubbing the track, and you're just kind of looking real slowly at the track. You can use this to go back and forth on the track. You can do a bunch of different special things. So you'll see this up here, but when I put this on the screen, I don't know if you can see this, but there's some things around it here. So let me go ahead and hit this. You guys should see, it's a little difficult, you should see a color wheel there now. So now what we have is we have a RGB color wheel, and we can adjust that as well. See, like this. So like this gives us a full spectrum of color. So again, if I were to be drawing, so I'm going to do this up here so you guys can kind of see that. But imagine it was flat and I'm in there and I'm drawing and I'm coloring something in or shading something. I can literally jump down to the next level here by clicking it in, and this actually becomes like a shading tool. So if I'm, you know, coloring in here and I want to make it darker, I can literally just drag this to get it into a grayer form. Again, this probably isn't coming out great in video, but this allows you to take a single color and adjust it. You can go to the grays or the darks. So like if I go into black here, you'll see this is darker at the bottom. So with the pen, I can actually sit here and start shading and literally with this hand just be cycling it. Now, obviously, the more natural position of this is to take it down like that. Now, you guys aren't going to be able to see much here, but imagine you're sitting here right-handed and you're drawing, so you're jumping in, and the screen is made to be leaned on, which is really cool. So I can take this, I can put this up here, I can get right in, I can zoom my screen in, and I can start shading and actually adjusting my shading as I do it just by spinning. Another really cool thing, and I probably use this a little bit more than shading, is your brush size. So you actually can change your diameter of your brush. So let me clear this screen real quick. Okay, so if I put this up here and I have my brush stroke picked, I can start drawing a straight line and I can start increasing my brush size. So you can see how that's going real quick. So I can very quickly change the diameter of my strokes. I went a little crazy with it, but so if you're really getting in and trying to fix something, you can just simply just back and forth with it. You can set this to your tip opacity. So if I was wanting to make it clear, I can just spin it. You can zoom. You can rotate with it. So just by turning this, you can rotate it. Yeah, I know, Punk. Like for this kind of stuff, it's awesome. So in Adobe, Adobe has special features for the dial. And this dial does work on any machine. It's just you won't be able to put it on the screen. You would use it on the side. So you can still use these on anything, but it's not quite the same experience. I'm going to be honest if you're not able to really get in with it. But you can rotate, zoom. Again, with the brush size, you can do tip opacity. So see, you can see it's real light. Can't see it at all. Again, with the pen, it would be a much cooler experience. But again, with editing video, you're able to kind of just go frame by frame. You can scrub really well with Adobe Photoshop. One of the things, I wonder how this integrates with GIMP. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, Jack, I'm a horrible person to ask. I am very loyal to Adobe. So I really like Premiere. And here's the problem. I'm also not very good to ask because until not too long ago, I wasn't doing any video editing. I was only doing Photoshop. So until, geez, we made a few videos that had no video editing. Like our first 4 videos had no editing. We just OBS'd it and put it out. And that's why our sound quality was horrible. Our image was horrible. If you go back and watch some of our original videos to now, even though we aren't very professional as is now, if you watch the originals, it's like, ugh. Yeah, Punk is a lot better than me. And Punk actually gave me a few options and told me the different stuff that him and Def use. I think they're fans. Punk, you talk for yourself, but you guys are big into yeah, Jack, it was bad. We actually are thinking of trying to remaster them or something, or putting a better audio track over top, but we'll see. The Vegas is a very popular one. But see, for me, here's the thing: if you want multiple programs, like I watched Chris Kane every once in a while will let you into his world in a stream pretty late at night, where he's actually recording and he shows you his process, and it's pretty crazy. Okay, so there. Yeah, that's a much better what Punk just said there. Money not being an object, Premiere's industry go-to, but Hit Film and Vegas both make compelling offers. And I've heard a lot of good things about Vegas. And as good as Adobe is, there are silly little bugs that happen quite often, where all of a sudden your audio doesn't work and you have to like reboot it. And it's just like silly little bugs, and it's all cloud-based now, so you buy a subscription. If you want the whole Adobe package, so if you do use Photoshop, if you do want to use Audition, if you do want to use Premiere, then you can get a pretty nice monthly package with Adobe, and you have a lot of tools. A lot. Like After Effects, I've never used, and apparently, like when you learn that, that's really cool. So yeah, I've never used that at all. So yeah, guys, I'm kind of sorry that I don't have the pen to really do a whole lot with. Maybe once I get everything transferred over, we'll do a small video of like video editing and just ask people if they have questions or anything. But the good news is there was no rage. We thought, Blair thought we were going to see some rage when this didn't boot up at first, and I spent too much money on a big paperweight. But we're good to go. Boot it up. We got the dial up. We got the keyboard going. Everything seems to be working pretty fine. I'm going to do some testing on the camera, which is actually interesting. I have to download OBS and see what that's like from a recording standpoint, see what the quality of the camera is. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just go do that. I don't think OBS is a very big program, right? We should be able to get that pretty quick. Let's go ahead and close that. And yes, I use Edge. Strange. And it's probably not, yeah, it's not obs.com. OBS project. So nice to have a touch screen, though. I'm a rebel. Why am I a rebel? I am such a rebel. All right. gonna be so nice to have everything cleaned in one. Oh, Edge. Look at you. Does that mean I have to play a Dire Lord? Alright, so let's see how quick this goes. You can actually get a look at the camera. That's the one thing it's tough to figure out. Oh, you don't like these? We were actually talking about the ergonomic. So the guy that I bought this from already had the ergonomic keyboard and he had the dial. I also have the regular. So if I can't get back into using the ergonomic, I will probably just go back to a regular. I don't think I'm going to use a gaming keyboard for this. Kind of seems silly. I'm not going to really need it. I'm not gaming on this machine, so. Let's see here. All right. This is actually moving pretty quick. So the hard drive space on this machine is a 1 terabyte hybrid drive, which is interesting that they didn't opt for a straight SSD on this. Is probably one of the only complaints I would have. So okay, so yeah, it uses about 70 gig of the terabyte, almost 100 gig. So it's quite a bit. Okay, so here's OBS. Let's see how this goes. Oh, it's in dark. This is a different version than I have. All right. So, well, this is a way nicer OBS. So you can see that my mic pickup is occurring from the camera already. Let's look and see. Really wish I had a mouse right now. Let's look and see what this video capture device looks like. It's not horrible. As your basic. Just it's not bad. I use a Logitech what is it, the 930E, which is a pretty highly rated cam. This is not friendly if you don't have a mouse, so that's gonna be a little tough, but okay. Yeah, actually it's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, the cam is actually pretty good. That's a surprise. I wasn't sure. So that's kind of cool because I'm not sure, since I'm not going to put Pantheon on here when it comes out. That's probably going to be the only game I stream. I'm not a huge streamer. I'm going to have to get into it. A lot of like this stuff is actually me figuring out what my internet can handle. But I got to tell you, this isn't horrible. It's not bad. And then I might even be able to do a 2-camera system, which would be kind of cool. So the camera's pretty good. Be interested to put something out and actually edit it and see what it looks like, but the onboard camera is pretty solid, which will let me keep my camera here on this computer just for production. Yeah, the Surface Studio is honestly just for media, is the real reason you use it. It's Pantheon's probably a game you can play on it. So the graphics card that's built into this is it's good for drawing. It's good for video editing. It's a 965M. So it's the mobile 9 series, which it's kind of what they used in the Razer gaming laptops, which were pretty good. And I'm thinking that for Pantheon, it would probably run on this okay. But I would probably not actually. See, the thing is, I want to maybe record on it, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to put any gaming on this, but I am going to take all of our content from everything we've done on PantheonPlus, all the images we've made, just all the website resources. I'm going to take everything off of my gaming computer and toss it all onto here, so that I can have just one clean production computer. So yeah, distinct. It's really just going to be for production. A little personal play, like getting into drawing again, getting into more design stuff. I'll tell you the one thing that's big. If any of you guys have used Photoshop, this will ring home completely to you. If not, I'll try to make it make sense. But so in Photoshop, if you, let's say you have an item or a picture and you want to cut something out of it, there's quick ways to do it. But if you want to do it really clean, you'll typically use a mixture of selection tools and an eraser tool to kind of cut something out so you can get it out of the image and then put it onto a fresh layer. And there's definitely tricks to it, but I think as a purist, I like to get in there and really do my own cutting out. With a mouse and keyboard, it takes a while for me to be happy with it. With the pen, I can literally just zoom right in and I can literally trace right around it with an eraser. And it literally takes me 25% of the time to cut something out or to cut a layer out of an image, stuff like that. So just for things like that, I never found a better experience. Again, I've tried Wacom tablets. I don't like them at all. I literally can't stand Wacom tablets. And it's kind of like I was joking earlier about how on a keyboard when I'm gaming and I'm at the WASD, I get lost, right? So when my hotkeys are all around that, I get lost and I can't always find my way back without looking down real quick to get myself back to WASD. So what that does is it really slows my rotation down. It's very similar like that with drawing for me. If I'm drawing something, I need to be drawing what I'm drawing. I can't draw on a tablet right here and look up to a screen. I just lose all sense of my accuracy. I don't know what that is. I don't know what problem I have. But on something like this, just being able to take it straight down, jump right on there and start drawing is just for me is a lot more exciting. Yeah, this cam might be doable. It's a little. I don't know. I'll have to mess around with it. If I can keep my other camera on there, it would be really nice. And I'm going to see what the audio pickup is like this. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to use this camera for audio. I don't think it'll be clean. So because of that, I'm probably going to have to move. I'm actually thinking of trying to move my whole system around a little bit and move my mic into the middle, like right here. And that way I can just plug and play it to whatever PC I need. Because my only concern right now with having the two PCs is that when let's say Pantheon hits and we want to just stream, I'll probably want to stream leveling. Probably make people crazy because I'm going to probably take my time for the first time ever. But if I want to stream leveling, I want to play that on my gaming PC. So there's going to be that complication of having to have some of the streaming pieces on both PCs. And I haven't decided yet if that means that I'm just going to have like a hub with USB extenders where I just switch them over to the PC I want to use them on, which is pretty easy to do. Or if I want to go out and get another piece so that it's just easier to go back and forth between. If this camera works okay, if I can get into using this camera, which again, I'm going to have to play with it quite a bit, that would be cool because all I'd have to really worry about is getting my microphone in between. And where my secondary monitor is right now, I can probably just hang it over top of it and block it because I don't really use my second monitor for much that I need to like get real important on, so I'm not sure. But yeah, sorry, super long answer for me to just say yes, it's for production. We're gonna do the website stuff on there too. It's an i7. It's an i7 processor. It's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, it's i7, 16 gigs of RAM with a 965M. I think it's. Oh, it's definitely not 4. Why am I saying 4? It actually might be. It might actually be 6. 4 is my gaming PC. I have a 4770. I completely forgot. Think. It's a 68 series. So i7 6820HQ quad core. So yeah, it's probably not gonna be great. But so here's the thing though, Jack. So because my internet is so bad, I can't really stream above 720p. Because as much as I love the place we're in, I love the area we're in. It's beautiful here. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and we have DSL internet, and that's it. So You have a 770, 1080. Yeah, but you have, how fast is your internet speed? Mine's 60 megabytes per second, or megabits per second, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. DSL. Yeah, yeah. So distinct. Here's the thing: when everybody says they want to be an old school gamer for this game and they want it to be like the olden days for EQ, just remember I'm the guy that still has DSL, like I did in the EQ days. Yeah, it's miserable, and you constantly get them saying, "Well, we're installing Giga and everything," but yeah, I think it'll do pretty well. It's 720. I don't think I'll have a problem. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Where's that fancy coat? In the closet. Dude, if I was wearing that right now, I'd be sweating. I'd be sweating. So yeah, i7 6820 quad core, 16 gigs of RAM with NVIDIA 965M with 2 gigs on that card too. So not bad. But yeah, it's definitely a really cool device. I gotta get a. I'm not gonna bore you guys with like all the software transfer pieces because honestly, you'll be miserable. That's gonna suck. I have to get all our stuff transferred over. Dedicated, or you game on that machine too, Jack? Okay, there you go. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do editing on this, and I'm gonna get an SSD so that if I do record streams from my gaming PC, I can just take it right over real quick. So, Jack, that's the best. I had this PC one time set up as my main hub in the living room, and I was thinking of running wires to different TVs in the house, so so that I could use one PC to like power everything. Pain in the butt. So there you have it. If you guys haven't seen, I'll do a couple more things real quick here. If you're new to the stream, if you haven't seen this device, it's called Surface Studio. This is the first generation. I'm a little cheap on. Well, I don't want to say I'm cheap. I probably spend more than I should, but I got it on eBay for about half price, so that's why I was really excited about it. So on this device, if you haven't seen one of these, again, really made for creation. You can actually take your screen all the way down, just like you guys see it here. Don't hit into your router. And then when it's all the way down, you can actually take like your Surface Pen. You can lean right on the device. It's made to hold some weight, and you can actually get in and draw. And then you have what's called the Surface dial, which within programs you can put this right on the screen, and it'll actually activate right around it and stuff. So again, really for design. On the back of it, super clean. So if you guys see, it's just a hinging system. Really clean device. And on the back, you just have a single power cord slot. It's a proprietary one for it. You have USB slots, Ethernet, and then you have DisplayPort, so you can add a second monitor, SD card, and auxiliary jack. So pretty simple on the back there. For the moment, there's not a lot I have to plug into it. I may plug in the mic to it so I can record. So yeah, it's super exciting. Thanks, Shep. I appreciate that. Again, it's just me being a nerd today, guys. Just kind of showing you a little bit about how we are planning to up our game a little bit in our content creation and the different devices that I'm using to do it. It's pretty much me alone doing all this stuff, but I love it, honestly. Hiya just has to show up and be pretty, and that's hard enough for him as is. We can't give him a hard time. Everybody keeps telling him to grow a beard. It's really growing on him because he can't. So you guys keep doing that for me. Keep in the comments the videos if you follow us and we don't annoy you too bad. Keep saying, "Hiya, how's the beard coming?" Because that you don't understand how much we BS after these things. And Punk and everyone can tell you too. Anyone who's ever been on any of our shows, we'll film the show or we'll do the live show, which is usually like a half hour to an hour when we did that. And no joke, like we would do that for a half hour to an hour, and then we would spend the next 4 hours at times just BSing. Surfer Dave, if you're still here, he me and him talked all night. Me and Tess. If you ever get around me and Yarn, everyone already knows that Yarn talks a lot. That's like the joke. If you ever talk to Lex, Yarn is a talker. I'm a talker. I talked to Yarn after I was on. So they filmed my time at 6 o'clock. And when I was on Voices of Terminus, this was a while ago. After it, we ended, I think the video went about an hour and a half, hour 45. So it's about, we'll say 8 o'clock. I talked to Yarn until 3 in the morning. So I love chat and I love talking about stuff. I want to be able to chat with you guys a lot more somehow. We got to figure that out. get more people on these streams, people who want to just chat about gaming. Again, the whole vibe that we're really trying to go for is just want to be like two dudes on a couch hanging out, two friends drinking beer. We're thinking of putting a community special together soon with some of the content creators or different people in the community, and just call it booze and news and just drink and bullshit, because that's really what this is all about. So again, guys, I thank you very much. Thanks for coming by and just sharing this with me. I know it sounds really nerdy, but I have wanted one of these since the day they came out. It's been a long time. It's been almost 4 years, I think, since these things came out, 3 or 4 years. So this is just a big moment for me, and I just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit behind the scenes of what we're doing. Obviously, it's a fresh install, so I can't get into a whole lot of files and do a lot of fun things. But another time, if you guys are interested in how to video edit or just design logos, I know that doesn't sound super fun, but I know that sometimes, like, someone who wants to get into this game, get into content development or get into video making or any type of stuff, sometimes the barrier is really hard. And Pantheon Plus, we're all about helping with that. So even if people were interested, and if I can get enough people to say, yeah, we'd like to check that out, just show you how to do a little bit of basic video editing and stuff, would be pretty cool. So guys, thank you. Thank you, Punk. Thank you, Shep. Thank you, Scal. Thanks everybody else. There was a ton of other people we were talking to, so those are the people I can see on my screen. Awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by for this. And we did put out a new video today. If you guys haven't seen it, history of Pantheon communication. Let us know what you think. And we'll keep trying to keep this exciting. So thanks, guys.